Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone.
Let's talk to somebody who spent Valentine's Day alone. Let's see. Virgo men are the worst? You know what's funny about this? Before I even defend myself, I don't even care. I don't even believe in this shit, but I can't let it slide, okay? Virgo men and Aquarius men? You're Aquarius? Oh, I thought you were annoying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I thought, that's my bad. Why do you think Virgo men are the worst, though? You don't fuck with them? Look, I would fuck you. I haven't washed my hands since petting a dog. I don't want to do that to you. It smells like an Aquarius.
Every animal. That's sweet. Every single animal. They all have life. You're right. 100% right about that. They don't all need to. I feel like you haven't experienced enough life or death situations with animals. You know what I mean? Do you think an animal cares about your life? You think a polar bear is going, you know what? She's probably got backgammon on Tuesday. Maybe I won't eat her. I'm just gonna sit here with this Coca-Cola and sip it with my nephews.
Looking for validation and found humiliation instead.
Young women about having babies, they talk about it terribly. I'm not having any kids. You're like, all right, ugh. Do you know how stupid you have to be to think you're above reproduction? It's what everything does. And then you have one liberal arts degree and you're like, I'm gonna be part of the patriarch. It's not some coup to keep you in a kitchen, dumb. It's literally the miracle of life. Yeah, it's like a huge thing. It's a huge thing. What Avril Lavigne told you to fight the rebellion. It's insane to me.
Everything always falls to the imaginary war against the patriarchy.
What kind of a fucking idiot white person refers to themselves as woke? If you actually were socially conscious, you'd realize that white people stole that word from black people. But you know what? I blame black people for that. One of them f***ed up. They were at a party, there was white people there, and they let it slip out. Stay woke, however the f*** you say it, and some white person heard it like, who is that? Oh my God, stay woke? I want to say that. I gotta say that around my white friends so they know that I'm down. Oh my God, I'm gonna say that. Every white person likes to lie to themselves that they were alive, 150 years ago, that they would have been working on the Underground Railroad, trying to help slaves escape, right? I would have been one of the good white people. I would have taken time out of my day, risked my life. And the reality is you'd be doing back then exactly what you're doing today. Nothing. Maybe a little hashtag, Black Lives Matter. Oh my God, my heart breaks on my L-shaped couch.
Bill Burr doesn't just attack wokeness here, he audits it. He points out that calling yourself woke while doing absolutely nothing is peak performance activism. Everyone likes to imagine they'd be a hero in history. In reality, they'd be refreshing Twitter and changing their profile picture.
It was this kind of hilarious moment, like last year, where they started to try and cancel dead people. Remember that? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, John Wayne was trending. I'm like, what, they got some found footage? You got a new movie coming out that maybe they shelved? And all of a sudden, it was all these stupid, woke white people, right? Oh my God, did you see what John Wayne said in Playboy in 1971? This is a bunch of people all up in arms about a dead white guy. I can no longer tolerate this. I can no longer tolerate dead for 45 years, John Wayne, saying things in a magazine that doesn't exist anymore. I am here for black people.
Bill Burr perfectly highlights how absurd cancel culture has become. Trending John Wayne for a 1971 play is peak ridiculousness. Now here's Bill doing the impossible, telling ugly woke people that maybe personality was always an option.
That's why ugly people are complaining so much.
They won't take the time to develop a fucking personality, write some jokes, do what the rest of us have to do. Like, I don't get mad at Brad Pitt, you know? How come he fucking, because he's fucking beautiful. I'm a fucking bald, redheaded male. I know where I am in the pecking order. And some of these fucking people who are complaining right now, who are mad that beautiful people get treated differently. I understand racially speaking, but you're not going to do the beautiful thing. And then there's another thing they try to say. Well, society tries to, you know, they're the ones that fucking do, like, you know, like I love when like there's a supermodel, like this is like an impossible standard of beauty to try and live up to. Yeah. That's why she's on the cover of a magazine.
Bill Burr is just calling out a harsh reality most avoid. Some people focus on complaining instead of self-improvement, and Burr turns that uncomfortable truth into comedy gold.
You know what's funny right now is watching the hardcore left walking away from their hardcoreness, you know, after they took out so many innocent people. Now they're doing their new thing is like, nobody got canceled. What are you talking about? Oh God, another old person saying we can't even say this. It's like, no, you did do that. You did do that, you cunts, right? That is what happened. That is what happened, right? It all happened. We all rollerbladed. We all told people they had to get vaccinated, and liberal left people flipped out if you didn't say they, and they tried to you. That's what they did. That is what they did. Now they're like, what are you talking?
It's wild how people can destroy someone's reputation and then act like nothing happened. The hardcore left denies their own impact, flipping out if anyone points it out. Burr exposes the inconsistency. Actions speak louder than words, even when people pretend otherwise.
I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest and they were just going Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last two elections when they could have voted against the black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy. But this white lady, we gotta stop her. It's gonna take her four-wheelers, Macuzzi.
Burr highlights the irony of outrage being selective. These same voters suddenly show up in a frenzy, but were mysteriously absent when it mattered in previous elections. It's a reminder that people often get politically energized only when it fits their current narrative.
Usually women that want to push this, and men who are... It's like these men that don't like aggressive... They don't like aggressive men. They don't like manly men. And so they push it as well.
No, because they're aggressive and they're controlling and they want to run. Because that's the thing where, like, if you really look at their agenda, when they say the future is feminine, that's not inclusive.
And Bill soon shed the curtain on extreme feminism.
And they're all about, oh, make this more inclusive. It's like, no, let us in so we can take it over and then we'll push you down. Is the psychology of the kind of person that goes after that, someone that's after, like, power. I'm not saying the average woman is like that. My wife is a feminist and she's into, like, inclusive shit. But, like, people who are spearheading stuff.
But Bill also had a rational take on why feminism gets most of it.
They think this is their time. This is their time to get back at men. Did you not see the Women's March? Saw a bunch of people walking.
Right, listen, I'm not saying the points that they're making don't need to be made. I'm not saying that their complaints are not just, it's the execution of it.
Yes.
Where it's like you're gonna go through intimidation and destroying people.
Bullying people.
Yes. Some of the biggest bullies right now, I can't believe it because I'm a lefty, are on my side of the fence. And you know, when someone's on your side of the fence and you're looking at them like you sound like a crazy person, that's when you've entered, like, you know, what was your special? Strange Times?
Yeah.
Weird.
The issue isn't the complaints themselves, it's how they're enforced. People push inclusivity like a rule book and end up intimidating everyone else. Burr points out what many on the right see. Ideals become oppressive when applied without common sense. Now check this out. Dave Chappelle asks one question that woke logic never prepared for.
Say LeBron James changed his gender. Can he stay in the NBA? Or, as he's a woman, does he have to go to the WNBA where he will score 840 points a game? What does it actually mean to be equal? You know what I mean? Like, women are actually equal to men, then there would be no WNBA, would there? You would just be good enough to play in the NBA with us. Or, here's another idea that's gonna be very controversial. You could shut up.
Crowd laughs because math, biology, and common sense still exist. Meanwhile, the outraged crowd starts buffering. He walks it through calmly, then ends it with brutal simplicity. No rant, no apology tour. Just a reminder that reality does not bend for feelings.
You guys are confusing the emotions. You think I hate gay people. And what you're really seeing is that I am jealous of gay people. Oh, I'm jealous. I'm not the only black person that feels this way. We blacks, we look at the gay community and we go, God, how well that movement is going. Look how well you are doing. And we've been trapped in this predicament for hundreds of years. How the are you making that kind of progress? I can't help but feel like if slaves had baby oil and booty shorts, we might have been free 100 years sooner, you know what I mean?
He says the quiet part out loud, that outrage is not hate, and jealousy is about progress, not identity. While woke logic cries oppression on loop, he asked how one movement surged ahead, while another stayed frozen for centuries. That final comparison lands hard. Woke culture hates jokes that keep score. Now, here's a good one right at the start.
No one can be woke enough. You're not gonna nag people into behaving.
Right.
In a way that, you know, in fact, if you continue with this tone, even if you're right, you'll be very hard to hear.
He's calm but sharp, explaining to Joe Rogan that nagging people into behaving woke doesn't make them listen. The tone is measured, almost teasing as he points out that even if you're right, you'll just sound ridiculous.
I'm doing a movie with Jim Carrey. Do you want to meet him? And I said, yes, I do. And the movie was called Man on the Moon. And in this movie, Jim Carrey was playing another comedian I admired, the late, great Andy Kaufman. And Jim Carrey was so immersed in that role, he would live his life as Andy Kaufman. And when he walked into the room where we were supposed to meet, I screamed, Jim Carrey! And everyone said, no! Call him Andy. I was very disappointed. Because I wanted to meet Jim Carrey, and I had to pretend this was Andy Kaufman all afternoon. And he was clearly Jim Carrey. I could look at him and I could see he was Jim Carrey. Anyway, I say all that to say, that's how trans people make me feel.
He builds it slowly, lands one comparison, and suddenly the outraged crowd freezes. The audience laughs because they see the point instantly. When comedy mirrors real life this clearly, woke logic panics and taps out fast.
Juicy Smouillet, he's a very famous French actor. One night, he was in Chicago late at night and was the victim. It was a crazy story. Apparently, when he was walking down the street late at night, two white men came out of the shadows with MAGA hats on and beat him up. Shit was like international news. And everybody was furious, especially in Hollywood. It's all over everybody's Twitter feed and Instagram page. Justice for Juicy and all that. For some reason, African Americans, we were like oddly quiet.
While woke Twitter screams on cue, he points out who stayed quiet and why. Turns out instinct beats hashtags. The crowd laughs because they saw it coming, and outrage culture once again confuses noise with truth.
I know white people are the worst. I know that. That's why no one likes a white middle-aged man anymore until we need a boiler fixing. Then it's get the bald bloke round now. Critical race theory, have you heard of that? Being taught in schools now, particularly in trendy areas like LA, right? Just like 5-year-old kids and 6-year-old kids. If you haven't heard it, in a nutshell, critical race theory says that all white people are racist. It says that we're born racist and we continue to be racist because we're affording the privilege of a racist society set up by our forefathers, okay? So basically, all white people are racist and there's nothing we can do about it, which is a relief.
He walks through the logic of critical race theory, nice and slow so nobody gets lost. According to the script, guilt is permanent and escape is impossible. Then he lands the punchline. If everyone is already guilty, effort is pointless. Woke ideology accidentally argues itself into a corner, and the crowd gets it instantly.
Jennifer Lawrence made the news when she demanded equal pay for women in Hollywood, and she received, overwhelming support from people everywhere. There were marches on the street with nurses and factory workers saying, how the hell can a 25-year-old live on 52 million? There were plumbers around the world going, poor girl in town, where's lucky now?
equal pay, waits for the applause, then flips it on its head. When millionaires pretend they are victims, the joke writes itself. Woke outrage loves performative sympathy, and Ricky exposes it in one clean punchline. Next up, a stand-up set that starts with Texas pride and quickly pivots to a Seattle culture shock that nobody in a green wig saw coming.
What I love about Texas is that you guys are like proud to be American. The first time I came to America, I went to Seattle. Very different vibe. I go to Seattle, I'm hyped. I'm ready to get off the plane. I watch Saving Private Ryan back to back 3 times. And then I get to Seattle, everybody walks around. Every bitch I met had like green hair. Every conversation I had in Seattle, they were all like, you know, America is built on a racist agenda. You're here on the winning side. If you don't like America, go check out Ukraine. Try to get an oatmeal latte in downtown Kiev. You ungrateful.
This comedian does what great comics always do, exaggerate just enough to make the contrast impossible to ignore. The punchline isn't policy, it's perspective. When patriotism gets mocked as naive, he flips it and asks a simple question: compared to what? Sometimes satire hits hardest when it exposes how fashionable outrage forgets basic gratitude.
The age of consent, same as heterosexual, 16, and even gay marriage. Although, ironically, the one place that was really ahead of the game fell behind a little at the last election, California. They had a referendum, they put it to the vote, and they voted no to gay marriage. I mean, in California, there's people going, that's why we moved here. I mean, it's a strange sort of bigotry that you can affect someone else's lifestyle that doesn't affect you back. It's not like they asked a bloke once, said, sorry, do you mind if these 2 men get married? He went, no, fine, okay, jack them off then. What? I didn't know that was going to... That doesn't happen, does it? That doesn't happen. It's also a strange sort of bigotry because these people that object to that were presumably the same people that said, you know, gay people were immoral and promiscuous, but now they don't want to be monogamous and respectful in the eyes of God.
He points out how people want control over lives that do not affect them at all. The contradiction becomes obvious. Woke moral panic melts fast when basic reasoning walks on stage.
Oh, women. Not all women. I mean the old-fashioned ones. You know, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God. You know, the ones with wombs. Oh. No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and they're as good as... They're as good as gold. I love them. Oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person that isn't a lady? Well, his her you bigot.
He walks through the word games, the labels, and the forced logic, then stops and says the quiet part out loud. The joke lands because the contradiction is obvious. Woke arguments rely on fear. Comedy relies on clarity.